This is part 2 of your question and answers. So let's get to it. From Melly Betcher. Oh, you're so cute. She says, can you open up more about your anxiety? Since becoming a new mom to a child with some health issues, my anxiety is through the roof and it's hard to cope. Oh, I'm giving you a hug right now because I know, anxiety is horrible. I'm hugging you. I'm squeezing you. I guess I didn't show the bottle very well in that last video. Okay, but this is the med I take. It's from Neuroscience. Okay, you can go to neuroscience.com. It's called Cavanats. I always say it wrong. Cavanats. Okay, that is what I take. It's natural. I looked it up on the internet. My doctor told me about it. Well, she's more of a natural doctor, because your doctor at the normal doctor's office is not going to give you this because they want you to be on prescription drugs. Okay, this is not a prescription drug. I did a lot of research on this, and it has all natural things that your brain needs to release. When you go through anxiety and pressures and things, your brain releases like a GNO, I think it's called, or GMO, that helps those nerves and those connectors to come back together like a prescription drug does. But this doesn't have those chemicals and all that addictive things that your body doesn't need. And so I love taking this. You can take up to 6 a day, and so I've never felt like I was on a drug, which is fantastic. Never felt like I was, on something. And it is a sleep, it promotes sleep. It helps you sleep at night. So I have been so happy with this. And then I found out, talking through people through YouTube, a lot of people use this, and it's all been positive. Like I said, I went online. I did not find one negative review. But ask your doctor before you take anything, okay? FYI, talk with your doctor. But that is what helps me, okay? And so I've been very happy with that since I found it. I still have anxiety. It's just something that I'm dealing with. I've never had anxiety before. It's just really morphed. My worries or something have really morphed in the last year and a half. But it took me a while to realize it was anxiety. And I don't know. I just think all the pressures that are on me, or that I put on myself, but things that we're going through with one of our children, and just some other things, that pressure, that worry, it just morphed into anxiety. So this is something I'm dealing with. I've never had to deal with this before. And so, and it's shocking how it affects me, There's sometimes I'll have anxiety during the day and I could feel it. Not every day, some days. And I'm wondering too if it's if I've had too much caffeine. And I'm wondering too if it's hormones. I'm working on my diet. I'm working on my hormones and I know my levels are whacked right now, so I'm wondering if that's playing into it too. And but there's days where I could feel my anxiety, and I'll go and I'll take 2. And I could still feel it there, but I feel a lot calmer and better. And I just gotta remember to take it. Sometimes I could feel the anxiety attack. I'm going through it, but I don't go and grab my bottle, which is so dumb. Of course, I should go get my bottle and take some of my medicine, but I don't, because it's just this. I've gone through it before where I feel stuck. Sometimes I can't do anything. Even if there's a piece of paper on the counter and I know I need to pick it up, sometimes I can't get myself to pick it up. So it's really hard sometimes, and I have to push through. And that's why in the last year I'm just really learning and have learned to roll with things, especially as a mother. I've learned to pick my battles. There's some things that I won't worry about, or I'll let the kids not get away with, but just do. It's not, I always think, is it really gonna matter? Is that really a big deal? Let it go. And so that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, Robin L. Addy also asks, what are your biggest sources of anxiety and or triggers? They range, and some of them they're different, they're personal. But one of my biggest ones is if I woke up in the morning and thought about my day, what I need to do. I've already looked at my planner. I've already mentally prepared in my head what I'm going to do, because I need to know in my head So I have a game plan and I could just breathe through all of it. And then if something gets thrown in there and throws me for a loop and I have to change things up, that could trigger the anxiety. Not all the time. There's days I can roll with it, but there's just, if I've already woke up with a little bit of anxiety already and that happens, then I could be done for. But there's other triggers that are personal, but like I said, it just happens. Sometimes I could be having a great day, like an awesome day. Like, okay, a couple Saturdays ago, I was having a great day. Was it a Saturday? No, it was a Friday. It was a Friday. I was having a great day, got things done, and just was going with the flow. And then it just hit. I could feel it coming. And sometimes I'm like, oh, it'll go. Sometimes I can make it go away or just breathe through it and just be fine. But it just bubbled over, and Derek got home from work early and we were going to go see family, and he saw me have my meltdown. And he usually doesn't see my meltdown. He hears about my meltdown. He knows I was in bed crying, but he actually saw it. He saw me crying and he saw me work through it, and I felt bad that he had to see me in it, because I didn't want him to see me in it. And so I'm literally putting on my makeup to try to get out of the house. Now, I've talked about this before where it freezes me and it's hard for me to do anything. Well, imagine me trying to sit and put makeup on and crying. That's ridiculous, right? But I forced myself to leave the house because I needed to say goodbye to friends that were moving out of the country, and I really forced myself to move, and that was hard. And but I got through it, and but I just was in the car and I was just crying, and it was just I can't explain it unless you've gone through anxiety. It's so hard to explain. And then, it was about a 35-minute car ride up, and then I was just breathing and just trying to get through it. And that day I wanted a Coke. I said, Derek, please pull off this exit. I need a Coca-Cola. So he grabbed me a Coke. He was so supportive, he's so supportive through it. I grabbed one and I just sipped on it, and I just continued to just cover my face and just, I was still sobbing a little, but I was able to and I did take some of the pills before I left too. And so between that and the Coke and just trying to just calm myself down mentally, and which is not think about anything, pretty much. I have to try to shut my brain off because lots of weird thoughts and feelings. It's so weird. So I just sat there and was trying to shut my brain off, and then I was able to calm down and by the time we got to our destination, I was able to go into the house, and I was worried I wouldn't be. And there's days, I can go weeks, I can go a month without an anxiety attack. I can go a long while, but there's just, I don't know, days where it just hits me, and it hits me like a brick. So it's okay to just stop what you're doing and just breathe through it or cry through it. It's okay. I say it a million times, let your house fall apart, ladies. Let it fall apart, because you're going to get it back up to where it needs to be. But the important thing is you taking care of you, number one thing. So I've learned, just if it falls apart around you, that's okay. It's okay. Oh, anxiety is horrible. I'm hugging you. I'm squeezing you. Thank you for joining me. I love answering your questions. Yeah, of course, always leave your thoughts down below. All right, ladies, you're doing awesome. You're doing awesome. Get in your aprons. Do something amazing for the people that you love, and we will see you later. Bye.